Here at the 2023 Cattle Industry Convention, I'm Bryce Dusky, now catching up with George Cooksley of Anselmo, Nebraska. He is the chairman of the Nebraska Beef Council. George, good to see you. Thanks for making the time.
You bet. Glad to be here.
Talk to us about some of the activities of the beef checkoff here at the Cattle Industry Convention.
Well, at the annual convention, Bryce, is when we have quite a few updates as we go through the market research. Yesterday, where we talked about the different things that we've been looking at and watching the demand, the confidence levels, and so forth as we go forward. Today, and in a little bit, will be our update as the contractors come in and talk about where they are on their projects that they've been authorized to do last year in September to go forward with, how those processes are coming along. Then tomorrow or this afternoon, don't forget to go to my meeting, this afternoon then will be the committee meetings, and we'll break that down. My particular committee is Consumer Trust. We have a number of those authorization requests that we've looked at and we're part of. We'll be updated on them on a little bit deeper level, be able to talk to the contractors about where they are. Be able to discuss then as we go into our summer meetings, which is where we determine which ARs we're going to go ahead and recommend to the operating committee that we would go with. But kind of see where we're at, see where we're at, evaluate what we've done, see how we want to change things going forward. That's the opportunity, I think, particularly starting at the committee level is where we have the opportunity for those of us in the grassroots to have input into the process. And what the committee does and choices that they make and their comments and what they ask of the contractors is extremely important to the operating committee, which then gets to hear those ARs in September and make that final funding decision.
One of the things we've been hearing about for several months now, probably more than just several at this point, is the price of beef is going to, at some point the consumer is not going to want to pay for that. It doesn't really seem like when it comes to looking at the market trends, we've seen it just yet. Have you heard any updates on that from the different presentations you heard about consumer trends right now and how inflation's hitting them?
To this point in time, it's amazing and really encouraging to see that we have not seen. I mean, obviously the prices have gone up for beef, as they have for everything. We have not seen a decline that I think a lot of people might have thought had been coming at us. So to this point in time, I think the update is it's really good. The amount of things that we have done to shore up beef demand and to shore up the ability of the consumer to get the information that they want to feel comfortable about the product that they're buying. That's the positive side, or that's what I've been seeing or what I've heard so far at this meeting.
Well, size up the checkoff from your perspective on the national level. Where do you see some of the strengths at this point, or perhaps any weaknesses also you're seeing?
Well, I think from a standpoint of strengths, what I really feel is extremely important is our ability to manage issues. The research that we fund through universities that provides us the information, the scientific information that we can use, our ability and desire and to train individuals then in the industry to get that message out, whether it be through ads or through interviews like this, or whether it be social media or whatever that is, as well as training influencers, which is another means for getting that message out. And all those are I think those first ones are vitally important because we have to be able to stay ahead of the trends that come at us that we don't know. The ability to kind of monitor what's being said on social media and can give us a heads up to which directions we need to be kind of preparing for. From a standpoint of different ways of promotion, whether it be print, TV, social media, whether it be come up with helping with different ways and innovative ways to help market the product through e-commerce, grilling campaign, so forth. There's quite a large number of those that I think really help us from day to day within that.
Inflation is hitting everybody. It doesn't seem like the dollar goes very far in this day and age. To that point, is the dollar per head, is that a relevant enough amount to do the work of the checkoff in 2023?
Well, as that question, as you ask it, I have to decide which role I'm speaking from. As chairman of the Nebraska Beef Council, it is our job to utilize the dollars that we were given into the best way that we can, and we do not affect, or we cannot affect, change within the acting order.
Yep.
As an individual producer, I would think that it is something that we need to look at in the future to bring it into line. I think the really good thing is it's come from all of this, so because obviously $1 in 1984 is completely different than $1 in 2023. It has made us look and become more efficient and be very, very careful about how those dollars are spent, and then even more careful about monitoring and trying to determine which ones are spent best so that we can do better in the future.
That's George Cooksley, a rancher from Anselmo, Nebraska. He's also chairman of the Nebraska Beef Council, joining us here in New Orleans at this year's Cattle Industry Convention.